yeah.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Oh my. Deer.
Okay, deer.
Oh,
deer.
Lots of deer.
Oh, deer.
Woodland edition. Woodland edition.
Oh, look, dude, this would be amazing footage. But I can't hold my phone and drive. It's a $625 ticket here in Ontario. Don't ask me. Never got one before in my life. Ian, are we
are staying in the lane.
We're staying. We're getting real close to the right part, though. We're getting real close. Whoa. Okay, all right. I don't know. Does anybody know what RAV4 actually stands for?
No.
What is up, Internet world, and welcome back to Accelerate. I'm Mike, he's Ian, and today we're bringing the 2024 Toyota RAV4. So this is the fourth Toyota we're bringing to your eyeballs. We've done the Crown, we've done the Prius, the Grand Highlander, and now we bring this, the 2024 Toyota RAV4. This is called the Woodland Edition. I want to talk about size though for a minute, because how big is this compared to other Toyotas? Well, if you want one smaller, it's called the Corolla Cross. If you want one bigger, it's called the Highlander. So that's how she goes. So let's take our time and look at this Woodland Edition.
All right, 0 to 60 test in the 2024 Toyota RAV4 Woodland Edition. We've got the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. It is a CVT, it's a hybrid, and we've got 219 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque. Got traction off, got this in sport mode. Let's see how fast it goes. Woo! It's honestly not that bad. All right, wow, 7.2 seconds. 7.26 seconds. I know, obviously you're not taking this car to the racetrack, but that's a decent amount of power. Obviously you get the Prime, you're gonna get like 300 horsepower in that thing, which would be sweet to try out. Hopefully we can try that one out sometime.
Now, Toyota's not the only hybrid in its space. The RAV4 also competes with the CR-V Hybrid, the Ford Escape Hybrid, the Sportage Hybrid, the Tucson Hybrid, and now the CX-50 is going to be hybrid. This is army green, so let's take a look at the front end. These headlights are not the top end headlights. If you get the top up trims, you get this piece over here in an LED as well. However, this piece is good enough. You have your projector there, and then moving down into the center, you see you have this plastic piece. I like what they've done here. They've sort of separated the hood at this sharp angle, and then the front bumper is very angular and aggressive. If you're wondering why this emblem has blue in it, is because it is a hybrid. Now, nice big grille. I love that. It's aggressive. It's very like Tundra-like, very truck-like. It's aggressive. I do like that. You do have fog lights on either side. Now, if you bought the Prime, which we haven't talked about, that's a vehicle all by itself. That's a plug-in hybrid. You get a bit more fancy, and it's more, up to date with electronics and electricity. Now, Toyota offers the RAV4 in an adventure and a TRD off-road edition, but those aren't available in hybrid. This Woodland Edition does give you a lot of that though. It gives you these bronze wheels, it gives you TRD tuned suspension.
So is this Woodland like the TRD? Well, not completely. The TRD gets a 1/2 inch more of ground clearance, and the TRD also has a different all-wheel drive system. This is a hybrid, so the rear axle is controlled by the electric motors, whereas in the TRD it's mechanically done because it doesn't have a hybrid system. But with this Woodland, you do get the TRD's springs, dampers, and bump stops. So that's pretty nice.
In this army green, you get blacked out mirror caps with an LED strip here for your indicators. You get hard plastic all around the wheel wells, including all the way down the side here. Very scratchy, hard plastic to make it more durable. You do get mud flaps as well on the front and a little one on the back. You get black door handles, more scratchy plastic up here where the roof rails are, and this is all standard, one piece. You don't have to buy the cross members, it's standard on this model. Now, everything else is pretty straightforward stuff, nothing to really pop out here, except I like how they've done the two-tone, black up top and color on the bottom. Now moving down from there, you have the all-wheel drive badge. You have this nice big window here so you can see that there is no blind spots because I can clearly see the driver. Now if you're curious to know how the all-wheel drive system works, let me explain it to you. Under most driving conditions, the front wheels always get the power. Now when it detects some slippage, well, power gets transferred to the back. And when you get the higher trim levels, well, it actually sends power left to right, a bit more modern and less conventional.
You left it.
I
Missed it.
So let's talk about the back. You've got the upper third brake light. Of course, you have a tinted rear glass that's not sloped too much, which indicates you can probably see pretty well from the driver's seat. You have a rear wiper. You've got these really wide taillights that stretch. Then you have this little design detail that's very, very familiar to me when I see it here because it reminds me of the Grand Highlander. You have more blue. Moving down from there, you have the rear camera. You have your RAV4 badge as well as your hybrid badge. Now you do have this Woodland sticker here. It's not a badge, it's a sticker. So if you don't like that, you can simply just take it off with a heat gun. Moving down from there, you have a lot of plastic. And that is because this is a Woodland edition. It's going to get scratched, so I kind of get it, or at least give it a pass. You have this. This is new. It's new with the Woodland. It's a 1.25 or 1.25 hitch, and you can put any sort of a bike rack or utility trailer behind it. It can tow 1,750 pounds. And I do appreciate the fact that you have real exhausts, one on this side and one on this side. They're legit, they're exhausts, little pea shooters, but they have this nice little black chrome around it. Front seat of the Toyota RAV4 Woodland Edition. Okay, I like these seats. I love the fact that these are cloth with these little lines to make it look like it's a ray of sunshine. It gives me happy thoughts. And it's not leather or faux leather. Well, the RAV4 doesn't come with leather, period. It comes with faux leather if you do opt for the upgraded parts. But honestly, I love cloth, man. I love the fact that cloth is available, so thumbs up.
What do you think about these seats? Are they comfy?
I think they're comfy. I think if you push really hard in your back, they do feel, you can feel a little bit of...
I feel like I need lumbar in these.
A little bit of lumbar, but I mean, the fortunate part is I have lumbar, because I'm the driver.
Jerk.
And you don't have lumbar, because you're the passenger. Door panel time. Rugged feel for sure. There's no memory seat, but this is power. So just to let you know, it's powered. It does have lumbar support. It does have powered windows on obviously all four corners. This is not the manual version. We're in 2023 now. However, this is the only window that is up auto and down auto. Just to let you guys know. Since we're in Canada, you do get a heated windshield as well as a heated steering wheel by hitting these buttons right there. But how about screens? How about technology? Where are we at with this 2024 RAV4? Well, this Woodland Edition has a 7-inch driver's display with some analog on the left for the Charge, the Eco, you know, because it's a hybrid. And on the right-hand side, you have your gas as well as your engine temperature, 7-inch here. Now, if you do upgrade for the top level models, then you get a 12.3-inch screen for the driver's display. Well, how about the infotainment for everybody else? Well, this is an 8-inch. Because this is the Woodland Edition, but if you got the upper trims, you get a 10.5-inch screen. This one does have wireless Apple CarPlay, but it does not have wireless charger, to let you guys know. Steering wheel. Well, steering wheel has all the buttons you need. You have all your cruise control on the right, and then all your little volume controls and to adjust a few things on the display there on your left. Of course, you do have automatic lights and of course automatic wipers. On the dash, you have 4 vents, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not the biggest ones. They're probably, you know, car size. They're not big and bulky like most SUVs today. Moving down from there, you have your HVAC controls, very big toggles that you can turn, rotary dials, pretty straightforward stuff. You have your HVAC controls right in the middle for your front defrost all the way into auto recirculate. Moving down from there, you have your stability program and your heated seats. You have high and low for both sides. And then you have this little tray here, which there really should be a wireless charger, in my opinion, for something like this, regardless of the price point. You do have a USB and then a cigarette lighter right there. And then of course your shifter. Then you have your trail button here, your Eco Sport push for normal and your EV mode. So these are all your drive modes right here, and your shifters on the right. Now you do have a sport mode. When you put it in drive, you shift to the left. There is an S for sport, and you have up and down. It's not paddles, but you have up and down to shift gears. Moving down from there, you have a very big sort of cavity for your dual cup holders here. This kind of makes sense because, you know, you've got a lot of space here, so you have big bulky drinks. If they do spill over a little bit, they'll still sort of stay in this little cavity. Now the question becomes, how do you pull this out? Because if you want to clean it, you can't. There's no way to pull this out, which is a little bit disappointing considering this is sort of like a utility, rugged trail vehicle. Now, anyways, down from there, you've got 2 USB-Cs and a decent amount of storage space in this center console. So yes, 2 USB-Cs and a single USB. So let's see how to put the seat down in the back of this RAV4. Simply a handle you pull down, and this is how flat it gets. This is the 40, that's the 60. I love the fact it's cloth. Once more time, jump in. Ooh, really solid doors, RAV4. Very solid. Ooh. This does not have a panoramic sunroof. It has a single sunroof over here. There's a bump out in the headliner for us tall guys. Funny. Now I do have a USB-C and another USB-C, one for me and one for this person sitting right here. You'd also like to note that it doesn't have a very high bump floor here. It's fairly low. I like that. A lot of vehicles are still pretty bumpy. This doesn't have a bumpy floor, therefore you can fit 3 adults back here fairly comfortable. Now as far as sound, this has a 6-speaker sound system. It's not the greatest. If you want a better sound system, you have to bump up to the higher models, and then you get 11 speakers. Thumbs up for them. So let's open up the trunk of this RAV4 by hitting this button. Usually they're right in the center. So I push it and then the trunk will come up, and you see this plastic on the bottom. Durable. So let's check inside. Look how cool this is. This has a RAV4 Woodland Edition trunk rubber mat or trunk liner. Now it does wrap around the rear seats. That's cool because when you put stuff in, it doesn't sort of stick to the carpeted material that's usually on the back of these seats. You'll see it's 60/40. And when you lift this up, do we have a spare tire? Yes, we absolutely do. So that's cool to know. You have lots of space over here, pretty decent load height. So let's measure from the bottom. This is a higher vehicle, so you have 28.5 inches to put stuff into from the ground. How about connections? Well, over here you have 120 volts, it's 100 watts you can plug in. It's not a 3-prong plug, it's a 2-prong plug, and you do have a cigarette lighter right next to it at 120 watts. That's pretty good. How about this? This is a tonneau cover you can pull back. Now, it's kind of weird because this does not have any handle. It's just sort of a cheap plastic. And to be honest, I would only really use this time of year in Christmas time so people don't smash your window and steal your gifts. Other than that, I would probably get rid of it. It's kind of a waste in my opinion. It's just more of an accessory. It is what it is. Comes with it. But we're not done here. How much room do you have? Well, as far as depth goes, you have 39, almost 40 inches. And then as far as width goes, well, to enter the trunk lid, you have 44 inches, but when you're inside, you have a lot more than that because you do have a lot of cutouts here on this side as well as that side. And as far as height goes, let's see what you have. You have 32.5 inches. Now with the seats folded down, let me see how much room we have. I will put the 40 portion down simply by pulling this handle and it folds down. So let's see how much room we have with the one seat down. All the way to the back of that console where the vent is, you have 75.5 inches. So hopefully that helps you in your car shopping experience.
So you might be wondering, who the heck is this guy on camera right now? Well, my name's Ian and I'm typically behind the camera. But since I spent most of my week with the RAV4 and Mike spent most of the week with the Mercedes GLS 580, it kind of makes more sense for me to talk about the RAV4. The first thing you're going to notice when you jump in a Woodland Edition RAV4 is just how buttery smooth this suspension is. Very forgiving, much better than say a Kia Sportage or a Hyundai Tucson, especially a CX-50, but there's no hybrid option for that yet. Apparently there is one coming in 2024, but it will also use a Toyota hybrid system. The CX-50 is by far the best handling in this segment of compact SUVs, but a lot of people do complain about how heavy the steering is in the CX-50, and the steering in this is so light. So yeah, visibility is good. Comfort is good. These seats are decent. I will say Ford Escapes have the best seats out of the bunch. But then if you're looking at a Toyota, you're probably not looking at a Ford. I just find people who buy Toyotas aren't even thinking about a Ford. I don't know. Tell us in the comments below what you think. Would you cross shop between a Ford and a Toyota? So if fuel efficiency is a big deal to you, then you might not want to opt for the Woodland Edition. It actually does worse fuel mileage than the regular hybrid RAV4s. And that is partly due to this giant roof rack and the knobby off-roady tires. That being said, I'm getting pretty good fuel economy, 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers. I was getting 7.4 before we started doing all this acceleration filming.
So we'll finish off this review by testing out the keeping you in your lane. Press the button, press some buttons here, set my cruise control. I have all system activated. I let go. All right, so are we staying in the lane, Ian? Are we
staying in the lane.
We're staying. We're getting real close to the right part, though. We're getting real close. Whoa. Okay, all right. Keep in your lane. Come on, Toyota.
We can do this. But both our phones died.
Yes. Okay, come on, Toyota.
Camera.
And we can't have our phones in our hands when we're driving.
Well,
but we have to have our steering wheel in our hands because this thing is not exactly staying as tight to the lane as possible. This probably works better on the highway because this right part is like very grainy. Okay, is it sticking? It's green over here. It's sticking. Okay, pushing me out. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right.
Yeah, that is the one thing is if you get a Kia or a Hyundai, the steering assist is the best.
The best. Yeah, they are hands down. Keeping in your lane with Kia and Hyundai is like amazing. You can be on that thing for like 6 to 10 minutes without even touching it, and it just does its thing. So like you can fall asleep, you can go in the back, you can change, you can do whatever you want. You can probably get out, go to the mall, go shopping for like a drink, come back in, and then you can still be driving, and it's cool. It just does its thing, you know.
Yeah.
You can do one of those like the fighter jets. They go in the middle, they refuel it, and then they just jump out. They go the bigger thing. They pee, they come down and stuff. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Yeah. This one needs a little bit of love though. It needs a little bit of love. It wants to stick on the right side for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, that is our review on the 2024 Toyota RAV4 Woodland Edition.
Well then,
here we go. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. You throw your hand up.
Oh, I thought we were going both.
Okay, one? No, I'm not doing that stuff. I'm not touching hands. You crazy?